Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make an oatmeal raisin cookie. So good, and you're going to see how easy it is to make, and you're going to want to go right in your kitchen and make them. But first, let me show you what you need to get started. All-purpose flour, some oats, raisins, brown sugar, regular sugar, salt, baking soda, cinnamon, vegetable shortening, unsalted butter, vanilla extract, and eggs. Now these are going to be really easy to make, and my recipe, it's very easy, very basic. I do a few little things that make it, I think the texture of the cookie a little better, but nothing really out of the ordinary. So first thing we're going to do is take some unsalted butter. It has to be at room temperature, otherwise it will not work. So you're going to put the butter in your mixer, the mixing bowl, and this is a very easy recipe. It's just basically 1, 2, 3 and go. I should mention before you guys get started, you want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees so it's waiting for you. 1 tablespoon of shortening. Now shortening is a little bit different. No one puts shortening in their cookies. I do just a little bit of it because butter gives me great flavor, just a wonderful buttery flavor. Shortening gives me a great crisp texture. So I put a little bit in there to give me that texture, but the butter really gives it all of the flavor. So we're going to cream together the shortening, the butter, the regular sugar, and brown sugar. Okie doke. Paddle attachment. And here we go. Just mix it until it's nice and creamy. And this is perfectly creamy, but just a heads up, you always want to make sure to scrape the sides of your bowl every time you add a new ingredient in there. Like I'm going to add eggs now, so I want to make sure I scrape the sides of my bowl so that the sugar and the butter and the shortening are well incorporated. So I'm going to add in my eggs, mixture back on, and just mix it till it's combined. It's perfectly creamy. I'm going to scrape it down one more time before I add in the rest of my ingredients. Okie doke. Now, whoops, time to add the flour. This is just regular all-purpose flour. And the salt, baking soda, and cinnamon. Also the vanilla. I almost forgot the vanilla. What is up with me forgetting about the vanilla? It's the most important ingredient here. Well, not the most important, but a very important ingredient. I put in about a teaspoon of vanilla. Stand back, otherwise you're going to face your flour. There we go. My dry ingredients are really well mixed in. I want to make sure everything is really combined from the sides. Like that. And now we're going to add in our oats. And you could use old-fashioned oats or quick cooking oats. It's no difference. This time I'm using regular oats, but I've used, quick cooking most of the times I make these. So put those in. And the raisins. I love raisins. I was snacking on them when I was prepping. I was snacking on the raisins, so I had to fill up the bowl again. So just for a minute, literally, till everything is combined. It doesn't take very long. You don't want to overmix. There we go. It happened really fast, not even 30 seconds until the raisins and the oats are mixed. Here we go. Just want to make sure to grab every little bit from the paddle attachment. I'm just mixing it with my spatula, just from the bottom up. I want to make sure there's no clumps of butter or anything at the bottom of the bowl. And now we're ready to form our cookies. Now I'm using non-stick baking sheets, or cookie sheets, whatever you have. And this is a small ice cream scoop. When I bought this, it was actually called a cookie scooper. So they're perfect to make cookies. They're the same size every time, and they cook very evenly. So here's what you do. Put them on your ungreased non-stick baking sheet, about 1.5 inches apart, because they're going to spread out a little bit, just like so. I put about 3 each row. So I'm just going to continue to fill these up, and then we're going to put them in the oven. I have all my cookies ready to go into the oven. Now this makes about 3.5 dozen, and if you feel like you don't want to make all of these, you could always make half of them and put the rest of the batter in your freezer. It's a wonderful freezable batter, and you could just defrost it in your fridge and bake them as directed. These are going to go into the preheated oven for about 10 to 11 minutes or so. You want the edges to be ever so lightly golden. You really don't want them to be brown because they're going to sit on the baking sheets for about 10 minutes before we remove them onto wire racks. So I'm going to pop these in, and I'll see you guys in a few. Now my cookies came out of the oven. I let them cool 5 minutes on the baking sheet, and then I put them onto wire racks so they can cool completely, about 20 minutes. Now, like I said, these cookies are so incredible. I do like, so good. So much about food is not just in flavor, but also in texture. And these are so good. They're not all a dense, heavy cookie. It's flavorful, it's buttery, but it's still got a really nice crisp texture because of that tablespoon of shortening we put in there. So good. Make sure you let them cool completely onto your wire racks before you put them on a platter, otherwise they'll kind of get really soggy. Now I'm just going to plate these up. Look at that. They're so beautiful. Look how thin they are, but they still have a really nice chewiness to them as well as that crisp texture that I was talking to you about. Now, I love that I'm eating and doing this at the same time. Check out my website at www.laureninthekitchen.com to get this and many more recipes. Get in your kitchen, get baking. Oh, so good. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.